Hello, welcome to Talk Easy. My name is Srinath, and in today's lesson, I've come up with 25 sentences that we use in our everyday life to talk about water. So, this is definitely going to be helpful for you. But before moving any further, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. The first sentence is, I sprinkle water at the entrance. I sprinkle water at the entrance. This is the first thing that most of the women do in the morning. So they wake up, they get ready, go to the entrance, they clean the entrance, and then they sprinkle water there. And they also draw geometrical patterns at the entrance. In Tamil, we call it kolam, and in Telugu, we call it muggulu. So this ritual brings prosperity and goodness into your life. I don't know how true that is, but that's how people say. But these days, this ritual is kind of fading away. These days, women find it really difficult to wake up in the morning. So by the time they wake up, it's already 7 or 8 in the morning. They are in a hurry to get ready and go to their office, and they need to get their kids ready for school. So they kind of forgot this ritual. But some parts of rural India still follow this ritual. So hope you have understood. I sprinkle water at the entrance. The next sentence is, I draw water from the well. I draw water from the well. Most of you would have known what a well is. It is a hollow structure that is constructed to store water or to save water. So to draw water from a well means to have a container, typically a steel bucket or a plastic bucket. You tie one end of the container with a rope, and then you just drop the rope inside the well, and when it touches the surface of the water and when it's filled with water, you kind of pull the rope back. So this is called drawing water from the well. So water that is drawn from the well can be used for many domestic purposes, like watering the plants or washing clothes, or for many things. The next sentence is, water is dripping from the tap. Water is dripping from the tap. Have you ever seen a dripping tap? I think most of you would have seen one. So dripping means water is falling from the tap in droplets. There is no full flow of water. It is just falling onto the ground in droplets. Maybe someone who just turned on the tap didn't turn it off properly, so that's why it's dripping. So if you see a tap that is dripping, make sure you turn it off properly. So save water. The next sentence is, why is this tap turned on for no reason? Why is this tap turned on for no reason? This sometimes happens for most of us. I mean, we don't really turn the tap on intentionally. We don't want to waste water, but we may be in a hurry, or someone would have rang the bell, so we may be at the door and we would have totally forgotten to turn the tap off. So that is the sentence. Why is the tap turned on for no reason? For no reason means without any actual purpose. The next sentence is, there is water flow from the tap. There is water flow from the tap. I think you would have understood this. When we are waiting for the water to flow from the tap and all of a sudden water flows from it, we say, hey, there is water flow from the tap. And if it doesn't flow from the tap, you can also say, there is no water flow from the tap. So it is, there is water flow from the tap, and then there is no water flow from the tap. The next sentence is, we ran out of water in the tank. We ran out of water in the tank. This happens to me most of the times when I'm having a shower. There is no water flow from the shower itself. Then I ask my mom, hey, what happened? There's no water flow from the shower. And she says, hey, we just ran out of water in the tank. So what are you going to do now? So she says, like, I'm going to order a tank of water. So this happens to me most of the times. The next two sentences are turn on the tap and turn off the tap. When you want to use the water for some reason, what do? You turn on the tap. And when you have finished using the water, what do? You turn off the tap. This is very straight. The next one is turn on the tap in full swing. Turn on the tap in full swing. So what do you mean by full swing? It means to the maximum. I mean, like you rotate the tap to the maximum so that there is maximum flow of water from it. The next sentence is turn on the tap and slow it down to a trickle. Turn on the tap and slow it down to a trickle. Let me explain you. Most of the times we don't really need the tap to be in full swing. So we kind of turn the tap on, and it's enough if there is sufficient water flow from the tap. So it's kind of a thin layer of water flowing from the tap. So that is called a trickle. Okay? So the sentence is turn the tap on or turn on the tap and slow it down to a trickle. The next one is go easy on the tap, or you can say turn on the tap gently. Go easy on the tap or turn on the tap gently. What does it mean? It means not to apply too much pressure on the tap. If you do so, there is a probability that the tap may be broken. So don't do that. So go easy on the tap. The next one is water splashed all over the place. Water splashed all over the place. So what is water splashing? It means the water hits the ground and then it kind of spills everywhere, all over the place. So that is the meaning of this sentence. The next sentence is don't spill water on the ground. Don't spill water on the ground. You know, if someone asks me to get them some hot water, I can always spill some water, not only on the floor, but also on my hands. I really find it hard to take the water properly without spilling. So I hope you understood what is spilling. It means if water flows out of the container that you're holding in your hand or wherever it is, it's called spilling. The next sentence is I water the plants. I water the plants. Here the word water acts as a verb. So it's not a noun, it is a verb. It talks about the action of watering the plants. The past tense of this word is watered. You can also say I watered the plants. I think most of you know what is watering the plants. I mean, like the plants need water to grow. So when you water the plants, they absorb the water. I mean, the roots of the plants absorb the water and they make food and they survive. So most of the plants need water to survive, don't they? The next sentence is I pump out the water from the hand pump. I pump out the water from the hand pump. I think you should have seen a hand pump, or at least you should have studied about a hand pump in your physics class, I guess so. So it kind of has a piston and you push it up and down. With the help of this upward and downward movement, water flows out from the nozzle and you fill your buckets with water. So that's a water pump for you. The next sentence is I wash the vegetables under running water. I wash the vegetables under running water. So what is running water? It means when water freely flows from a tap, we call it running water. If you don't wash your vegetables under running water, all those chemicals that are on top of the vegetables go inside your mouth, and they may cause you some kind of illness. So always wash your vegetables under running water before you cook them. The next sentence is quite simple. It is, the water is hot. But don't say the water is heat. It doesn't work that way. You should say the water is hot. And similarly, you can also say the water is cold. Okay, the water is cold. The next sentence is, water is boiling. Water is boiling. I'll explain you what this means. We didn't really have a water heater at home because my mom heard somewhere that someone had an electric shock when they touched the water heater. So we didn't have one installed at our home. But now we have a nice one. She is not scared of the water heater anymore. But in those days, I used to fill water in a vessel, and I used to place it on the stove, and I boil the water. So I always take bath with hot water. I don't take bath with cold water. So that is called the water is boiling. The next sentence is, I forgot to turn off the tap. I forgot to turn off the tap. This sentence is self-explanatory. There is nothing much here to explain. But I just want to tell you that be a responsible citizen and always turn the tap off. The next sentence is, the drain is clogged and the water is stagnant. The drain is clogged and the water is stagnant. We sometimes experience this when we are doing the dishes. Sometimes the drain gets clogged with all the debris or the dust particles, and the water is stagnant. It means it just stays there. The water stays there. It doesn't drain into the sink. It just stays there. That is called stagnant water. And the last sentence for the day is, cup the water in your palm. Cup the water in your palm. If you go to a temple, the priest at the temple will offer you some holy water. There is a particular way in which you can get that water. So you need to cup the water in your palm in this fashion. That's the way you get holy water from the priest in a temple. And then you swallow the water a little, and then if there is anything left, and you just sprinkle that on your head. So this is what happens in a temple. If you haven't been to a temple, you can just notice this in almost all the temples in India. Thank you so much for watching the lesson all the way through. I hope these sentences were really helpful to you. I mean, I kind of picked these sentences so that you can use them in your everyday life. These are not rare sentences. You kind of use them every day in your life. So I just want to tell you something. If this is the first time you're watching my lesson, you can go to the Play Store and download my application, and you can buy my self-learning paid courses. These courses are not for free. These are paid courses, and you can level up your English speaking skills. And you can also join me in the voice chats. We have a separate platform called voice chats where I talk to all the people who bought the course, and I talk to them almost every day about different things. One day we discuss politics, the other day we discuss sports. So we just keep talking, because I personally believe you can't really level up your English speaking ability if you don't open your mouth and speak. Just by learning the course, you can't speak English. You need to practice speaking English with a group of people, with a bunch of people. So that is what happens in my voice chats. So I've given the link of my application in the description, and you can also be my friends on Instagram. You can also get the link of that in the description. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Bye bye.